if you've done any research on mind control and especially certain programs or uh, patterns, things that have been used before and that have a name, such as MK Ultra. I'm sure some people have heard of that before, and a lot of the things that you experience if you are targeted and you've experienced gang stalking, a lot of these things relate to uh, the pattern that's also used in things like MK Ultra, but it's done in a more hands-off kind of way. MK Ultra refers to trauma-based mind control, and if you've never heard of that, certainly look up. There's a lot of information on it now. There's documents that are readily available. You can download them if you don't mind downloading something like that. You can get declassified documents that come directly from the CIA and agencies like that. But the reason I mention MK Ultra and mind control specifically is because it heavily makes use of anchoring. Now, if you've ever researched NLP, you know what anchoring is. You simply tie a mental state or a state of mind or a certain feeling to a certain object, or it might be a stimuli like a color, could be a word, a key phrase, something like that. And this is used a lot in gang stalking, but in a hands-off way. This isn't direct trauma-based mind control. In a lot of ways, this is like a hands-off version of that. But it is behavior modification. It is used as a way to get someone shut down, to take away their ability to continue to speak about such things. And one thing that's used pretty commonly is something called color programming, or at least that's what I would call it, because it best describes the series of actions and events. But color programming is simply anchoring certain colors to certain states of mind or feelings. You may, during a gang stalking experience, or if you are a targeted person, you will have very traumatic things happen to you. For example, you might be walking down the street and have somebody nearly hit you with their car, or maybe, uh, roll the window down and yell obscenities at you. And their car this may happen repeatedly. Say, 1 week, something like this may happen to anybody once or twice in their lifetime, just randomly. It's possible. But if this happens 3 or 4 times in 1 week, nearly every day, and the car who almost hits you is the color yellow or black, or it could be any color, you're going to start to associate that fear feeling of almost being hit with the car with the color that you see, the color of the car. So once that particular stimuli gets anchored in your mind as being associated with this feeling of fear, that can be repeated, but it can be done much more subtly. If someone with very bad intentions was to want to give you that anchored feeling and bring up that feeling of fear again, all they would have to really do is make use of this color, and that's why it's called color programming. And it's very simple. The idea is it's not a very complex system to employ. You can, there's any possible variation or ways to do this, but it's commonly employed on people who are targeted for one reason or another, and if you do know what's going on, it takes some of the edge off of you may still react to that stimuli in a way, but it's very much lessened because you know what it is. But to someone who is initially having an experience like this, is very frightening, and it can make you jump. You will be on your toes, and it's meant to have that effect. It's meant to shake you up psychologically, just as any other component of this experience is. It's meant to shake you up and to redirect your thinking. Essentially, that's the entire purpose of what you would call mind control. That's the entire purpose, is to redirect your thinking, associate certain feelings and states of mind with different stimuli, and then repeat those in a way to manipulate how you think and feel. And this can be used in conjunction with other techniques, as previously discussed, to severely traumatize someone, to make someone question themselves. It can be used to essentially try to shut someone down, try to stop someone, assault them psychologically, and it's very, very powerful if used correctly. And most often the perpetrators who are using this technique are very skilled at deploying such a technique. And anyone who has been through gang stalking or any form of this kind of harassment will certainly be able to identify and know what this feels like. And if you haven't heard of MK Ultra or anchoring NLP, I definitely encourage that you look that up sometime and see what it's all about. If the person using it really does know what they're doing, it can be very powerful.